Good morning, YouTube! Alright, this is going to be an assassin tutorial, as far as I understand it. In my opinion, an assassin is someone who kills other people for money, or for some kind of payment. In Skyrim, how you play the game determines what type of character you end up having. Most role-playing games tend to be the other way around. You start the game by choosing a character, picking their stats and setting up their abilities first, and then playing the game based on those abilities. Skyrim is completely the other way around. Skyrim, your character is dependent on how you play, and therefore how you think. So if you think like the character you want to play, and you play that way, you end up having the character that you wanted in the end. It's a little different kind of a system, but it's something that I really enjoy and I like to play that way. So, for an assassin, the point of simply killing people for payment, weapon is not dependent. You can have any kind of weapon you want, any kind of fighting style you want. So basically any other character type would work just fine for this character archetype. But for joining the Dark Brotherhood, once again, doesn't matter. Dark Brotherhood being the Assassin's Guild, your weapon type and your character play style really doesn't matter. You can complete the quest just as easily with daggers, with bows, with two-handed swords, or with magic. It's up to you how you want to do it. But for this tutorial, I am going to describe and demonstrate how I play a sneaky, stealth-based character class. Or not class, but character type. There aren't really classes in this game. So, one of the first things you need to consider in a sneaky character, although it doesn't matter as much in this game.
Who are you?
I don't know, who are you? Your race isn't going to matter as much, but it is going to make the starting out a little bit harder. You have 4 races that start out with above average, decent, good quality level of sneak skill. Let's start with the highest. This race, the Khajiit, has a starting sneak of 25, and that's the maximum you're going to get. The other 3 races that you might want to choose from are Wood Elf with a 20, Dark Elf also has a good sneak with 20, and Argonian, the lizard type. Those 4 races are probably the best choice you want to pick for a sneaky combat character. Stealth combat primarily goes off of the backstab ability, which gives you a massive damage multiplier. So small light weapons are effective at one-hit kills, which is great for the assassin type. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with, since I've already got a Khajiit as my main character that I play, I'm going to go with an Argonian. This is the character I'm going to be using to demonstrate how I play an assassin. From start till, I believe I'm going to go as far as signing up with Dark Brotherhood, and from there I believe you guys can take it, or you know, if you want to follow more of the Assassin's Guild, watch my LP. But I'm going to show how to find the Dark Brotherhood and join their little guild. And then how to play a sneaky type character. What is a good name? I know. Creed! From Assassin's Creed. I don't remember what the guy's name is. It's been a while since I played the game, but we're going to call it Assassin's Creed. Not the band.
Hey, Argonian! Get out! Come on! The dogs won't give us another chance. This way!
Legends don't burn down villages. We need to move now!
Up through the tower. Let's go! We just need to move some of these stairs.
Okay, here's one of the key points that I do want to demonstrate that is important for a stealth character is after you make that jump, one of the first things you want to do is start sneaking now. Right now. Before you do anything else, sneak. You should be gaining skill even at this moment. And the higher your skill is when you start, the faster you will improve. Because you actually are hidden, and in this game, you gain skill every time you move or somebody else moves while you're hiding, or they try to find you. Which is why later on I suggest using a bow and taunting your enemies with it in order to gain sneak. You run around here enough, you should be able to at least gain a level on your sneak. Hey, there it goes. And that's what I was looking for, is at least 1 point added to my sneak before continuing on. If you want to run around a lot and hopefully not get killed by the dragon, you might be able to get an additional point to your sneak. I suggest doing that at a later point. I'll show you guys a good spot to do that here in a minute. Okay, now this one, I'm going to follow the storm cloak. Not for any particular reason, just because. Thank
There
you.
go. May as well take Gunyor's gear.
Yeah, take the guy's loot, equip everything. And that brings me to the next topic. For a stealth character, you also want to focus on light armor. Go ahead and take the heavy armor if you want. It's not a great big deal for the assassin, since I suggested you could use any weapons or magic or whatever. But I play a stealthy character with the light armor. I'm not going to have a lot of carrying weight to begin with. I'm also going to go with a light weapon. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get any backstabs on these people, but I'm not concerned with it right now. You're not going to be able to fight very well while you're crouched. So, stand up.
Maybe one of these Imperials have it.
I usually take the Imperial sword and the armor. The boots are definitely better. You can tell by this number down here. It's a +7. That means the item that you have selected is better than the one you're currently wearing. Studded Imperial. It weighs less and it has a better armor rating than the Stormcloak. So I would suggest going with the studded. Here's a hint.
That's it. Come
You
on.
will not
Let's
gain
get out of here before
sneak
the dragon brings the whole tower down
from
on our
him.
heads.
So sneaking around while he's following you is not helpful. Okay, right before you get to the torture chamber, you definitely want to save. You can gain a little sneak here, but he's going to charge in and attack these guys anyways. Feel free to use power attacks on these guys. Your stamina should come back fairly. Probably want to grab all the potions. Another item that you want to be concerned with for the assassin is alchemy, and I'll get to that later. So I would suggest looting everything in this room. Just grab it all. I might do a an alchemy tutorial later on, but that's going to be a completely different video. So, as I was saying, check your skills. Your prime skill for this character is going to be sneak, and sneak is currently 21, or sneaking. As you move around, when there are enemies or even neutral characters nearby, your sneak will go up. There is one exception to that. Followers. And this guy is actually considered a follower or a helper. So if you look at your sneak, it hasn't moved. And so that's why we need to
Let's get moving.
when we get to the torture chamber, which is right up ahead, okay, we need to at least have one person survive so that we can gain some sneak off of them. So we want to kill Imperials, and hopefully we can get at least one Stormcloak. Right, both of them survive. That's cool. Another thing I suggest doing is learning as much pickpocketing, or not pickpocketing, but pick lock. For the Dark Brotherhood quest, you are definitely going to need the lock picking skill. So, what I suggest is getting familiar with how lockpicking works. And I'm not going to totally explain it here. I like to loot this guy's robes just in case I want to perform some magic. But you do have all of these locks to pick. And I would say take every opportunity you can to pick a lock. You're going to need it. One of the reasons, regardless of what weapon you use or how you intend to take down your targets for the Dark Brotherhood, one of the things you may have to do is break into their houses. And that's going to be a prime way for taking out a target without ever being seen. If you're not a sneaky character who can quickly backstab somebody like in the middle of a crowd and just disappear like he does in Assassin's Creed, pick lock picking so that you can wait until they go to sleep in their house and take them out in their sleep. It's a cheap way to do it, yes, but it works. Now, this is the point that I suggest that you spend a great deal of time increasing your sneaking. You've got 2 targets who you can actually gain sneak from.
This way.
So what I like to do is come up to this wall and just
Come on, hurry up.
sneak against the wall. I look really funny wearing my Imperial dress with a lizard tail. So
Better to stick together down here.
just hold down the walk and you should gain a sneak level here in a minute. I also find this is a great place if you're playing a mage to increase your magic skills. But for now, I'm going to save and I'm going to level up my sneak as much as I can, and I'll be right back.
Better to stick together.
Okay, we're back. I left myself walking against the wall, and I got in the car and I drove to McDonald's and had dinner. And it looks like about an hour and a half has passed. So, let's find out what level I've achieved. Hopefully it's pretty good. Alright,
Better to stick together down here.
hit the level up. Leveling up. Let's take a couple health at least. A couple magicka. 1 stamina. Another health. Another magic. Another stamina. Another health. That's great. I was thinking it was going to be about 10. But let's check out our sneak. Wow. An hour of sneaking against the wall, and it's at 65. That's ridiculously amazing. But a little bit of overkill. I would have suggested only for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes to get you up to about 30. But 65. I'm going to put 2 points into stealth. Let's take a muffled movement. And for your assassin, your primary is right here. This is what you want. This is a backstab. Sneak attacks. Now do 6 times the damage. Deadly aim. Sneaked bows. Very cool. And what is this? Whoop. Come here. Assassin's Blade. Wow. I don't think even my Khajiit character has the Assassin's Blade yet. Just because I haven't spent the perks. I've been spending perks on other things. But we're going to go with this. And that's a quick hour's worth of work. Silence. Walking and running now. Shadow Warrior. Crouching stops combat for a moment and forces distant opponents. Oh, very nice. Okay, but this is your main, what you need for an assassin right here. Lightfoot. I don't really care. Pressure plates. If you can see them, you can avoid them. Silent roll. Don't really silence. Walking and running. That's really nice. But your prime right here is. Okay. Whoa! This is a little out of control here. So, stealth. Gotta have it. Can't live without it for the sneaky character. Backstab. 6 times damage. Gotta have it. Deadly aim. Generally, when starting out, and if you don't do what I just did and sneak for an hour, the bow will really help. And then, of course, Assassin's Blade. That's pretty much overkill this early in the game. But we're jumping up to level 10 all of a sudden. And, of course, muffled movement. Noise from armor is reduced 50%. Really, those are really, really important. Another thing you can do is, if you're going for magic, every character starts with at least a flames spell. And if you're going for the magic, you can always shoot him.
What are you doing?
He won't
What are you doing?
react,
Hey,
but he is killable eventually. This is going to take a little more effort. It's not something you can just set up and walk away, because your magic is going to run out.
what are you doing?
But if you wait long enough
What are you doing?
or have potions, you can at least get a few points. I'm probably... Oh, there we go. It up to 16, so that's good. Alrighty. There we go. Now, it's not until you actually approach him that he'll start walking away. So, if you're going to practice on him, stand back. You don't have a bow yet, so you're not going to be able to practice your bow skills on him. Cool, I got a backstab.
That takes care of that.
And amazingly enough, these guys actually survived, I believe. So I need to loot the bow, longbow, and the arrows. Arrows and the longbow. Now,
Goes.
you could stand back and shoot this guy for a while, but you are going to run out of arrows. And if you approach him, he will eventually pull the lever. So this isn't another place where you can actually practice on him. I would think the next point would be where you face the bear is where he actually will sit and wait for you. Okay, now coming up is a point in which you could possibly practice using your bow if you wanted to, but there's another key important part of this fight that I want to discuss for the assassin type character. Okay, but the key thing is this frostbite venom. For an assassin of pretty much any weapon type, whether you're primarily a bow or for assassinating, you want to be able to kill your target as quickly and usually as quietly as possible. One thing that really helps out beyond the backstabbing is poison. It really helps a lot, especially if you're trying to go for a quick kill.
Hold up.
See, now here I believe is a good point in which you can practice your bow, because he's waiting for you to decide what you're going to do with this bear, whether you're going to shoot it with the bow or you're going to sneak past it.
Or if you're feeling lucky, you can take this bow. Might take her by surprise.
And he gives you a bow and some arrows.
I'll follow your lead and watch your back.
But I'm going to try shooting him. See if I can get my archery up.
Watch it.
So yeah, all he does is say, "Watch out, I'm your friend. Stop shooting me."
What are you doing?
And you'll probably run out of arrows pretty quick. Maybe not wanting to sneak while doing it, because it is doing a lot of damage. And there my archery went up a level. Let's try pickpocketing, although for an assassin character, pickpocketing is not... I don't believe you can pickpocket him. This person cannot be pickpocketed. Okay, that's fine. But let's try the stealth. Actually, what I'm going to show you guys how to use is poison. So the frostbite venom will be in your potions. I would suggest quick slotting it, putting on it on a quick key, a number key, or whatever you have on your controller. But the frostbite venom will be applied to the bow for the very next arrow you shoot, or the very next attack with whatever weapon you're using. Poisons are a one-shot effect. So, do I want to poison the longbow? Yes, I'm going to poison the longbow. I now have 3 left. And then I will shoot the bow or the bear with the poisoned arrow. First shot. And the bear dies. See, if you actually watch the health bar, it actually slowly decreased. That's poison over time, or a DOT, damage over time. Some poisons are instant, some poisons are poison over time. If I do an alchemy tutorial, I will explain how to produce each type. Okay, now once you're out of that first cave, you want to follow the trail down until it comes to this road. You also want to keep an eye on your compass that's up at the top of the screen. If you see that symbol that's highlighted right now, that is a guardian stone. That's the first thing you want to look for next. If you haven't spent an hour simply sneaking and leveling up like I did, the next most important thing you want to do is you want to come down here to these guardian stones and you want to activate the thief stone. For wizards, you want to, or if you're going to be playing a magic casting assassin, I would suggest going with the mage stone instead, because sneak is so easy to level up. As you can see, I only spent like an hour and I've already got my sneak up over 60, which is incredibly high right now. So what I'm going to do, since I've already got a really high sneak, I'm not going to worry about lock picking or pickpocketing. They'll come as they come. You know, if I pick every lock I see and don't really care about pickpocketing. It's fun to play with, but for an assassin, it's not necessary at all. You don't really need it. But what I need to work on now is my attack skills, my bow, my armor, my weapon. So normally I would come down and I'd pick up my thief stone until my sneak is decent. My Khajiit right now has an 80 something, almost 90. I think I can turn off the thief skills right now and go with something else. But this character already has a 65. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick warrior, and my fighting skills will improve 20%. But even though you do have a decent sneak, still sneak everywhere. Just sneak everywhere. It's really, really important. There's a guy up here at this first mine, so I'm gonna see if I can approach him. Oop. See, he's looking right at me, so it makes it hard to sneak up on him. But another thing you really have to be aware of when you're playing a sneaky character is patience. Patience is always your friend. Okay. So, the first shot didn't work very well. I'm going to try it with poison. I'm still very, very ineffective with a bow, but the poison actually helped. Alright, we're in Riften now. Or not Riften, Riverwood, excuse me. This is Riverwood. This is the first village you generally stop by along the way. And one of the first things that you should do is find the trading post, known as the Riverwood Trader. Talk to this guy, he will give you a quest. That is not the point of this tutorial. What I want to get out of this guy is something else at all. Something else entirely. Do you have spells for sale? Yes. Ask him about his spells. Look at books. Spell you're looking for is called Fury. This is something that's fun for an assassin to do. You also want to increase your illusion. You can cast the spell Invisibility, silence your own movements. Those are two very important spells that you want to pick up later on. But Fury and Clairvoyance are going to be the way that you practice your illusion, and you're going to improve your illusion skills. Like I said, it's not entirely necessary for an assassin, a stealth character, but if you want to go with magic, this is where to start. You should have a lot more gold after the first dungeon. I hardly looted anything at all, so I barely had any money. But for some practice, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back up here to the Ember Shard mine, and I'm going to show you guys a little trick, little fun thing that I like to do as a sneaky style character. Okay, we're inside of the Ember Shard mine now, and as you come down the ramp into this first bridge, there's these two guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cast the Fury spell on one of them, and luckily, or if luck is with me, he's going to attack the other guy.
Stop your worrying and get some rest. Stop your worrying and get some rest. Your shift is coming up, and I don't want you dozing off again.
And now he'll attack the first guy. But the problem is they spotted me. And eventually it will go away. And you notice my sneak is actually increasing while they're fighting. Once your sneak hits a certain point, you could sit here and just cast this spell at this guy, and he'll run around, and he won't be able to find you. But you could practice this spell over and over and over again. This guy will run around and never find you. And I find this is a good way to level up your illusion, especially if you've already got a decent level of sneak. But let's stop toying with this guy and just hit him with the bow. And since he's already wounded, he goes down pretty easy. So this ends part 1 of my Assassin's tutorial. Check out part 2 as I show you how to find the Dark Brotherhood and get initiated into their guild.